Sydney Water is the life stream of Sydney. We provide world-class drinking water and wastewater services across Greater Sydney, the Illawarra and the Blue Mountains. We also provide stormwater services to more than 500,000 households. Our stormwater network runs from Bondi in the east to Rouse Hill in the west, and from as far north as Eastwood to Kogarah in the south. Our 447-kilometre system covers 15% of Sydney's urban area across 30 councils. Councils are responsible for managing the stormwater drains you see around your suburbs. If these drains connect to Sydney Water's stormwater system, they may flow into Sydney's major waterways, including the Parramatta, Cooks and the Georges rivers. Our customers are at the heart of everything we do. We work with communities, our councils and stakeholders to protect the health of our waterways and minimise flood risk. Around 300 square kilometres of Sydney's stormwater catchment drains into our stormwater assets, including open water lakes, swamps and wetlands. While their biodiversity, heritage and recreational spaces are highly valued by our community, their ecological function plays an important role in the livability of Sydney. These areas are also important ecologically. They reduce the impact of major flooding events by capturing and storing runoff in detention basins for reuse or slow release into creeks. They treat stormwater runoff to improve water quality in our rivers and creeks, and they provide a habitat for a natural landscape and wildlife to thrive.
When it rains, stormwater washes off our catchments and into our waterways, and it collects litter, grease and oils and other pollutants. These not only make our waterways look bad, but they also affect the health of nature and the wildlife. Each year, we stop nearly 8,000 tonnes of litter and sediment from entering our waterways. That's enough to fill over 30,000 large wheelie bins.
We monitor our stormwater assets so we can schedule our cleaning and maintenance programs. As part of our routine maintenance program, we clean our stormwater channels and our 70 gross pollutant traps to keep our wetlands as clean as possible.
Floods are Australia's most predictable and costly natural disaster. That's why we're working with councils across Sydney to minimise the impacts of flooding on people and property. Flooding can pose serious risks to life, property and ecosystems. We work with councils and communities within our stormwater catchment to reduce the impacts of floods from our trunk drainage system. We collaborate with councils on floodplain management committees, working on studies to assess flood risks and to develop floodplain risk management plans. These management plans help us determine which systems need to be modified to reduce flood risk.
Sydney's iconic waterways are integral to our way of life. They include creeks, wetlands, lakes, rivers, estuaries and the ocean. They help sustain life and improve our livability. Increasing urbanisation and population growth threatens the health of our waterways. Some of these threats include stormwater pollution and wastewater overflows, clearing of native vegetation and the concreting of catchments and the waterways themselves. To help tackle these problems, we're developing waterway improvement plans for the Georges, Parramatta and Cooks rivers and implementing plans of management for other waterways that we manage. To do this, we're working with councils and other agencies. The plans will coordinate and prioritise how we protect and improve the health and biodiversity of these waterways. The plans will include works such as reducing wastewater entering waterways, riverbank naturalisation, which improves the livability of the river environment for both wildlife and people, bush regeneration and restoration, optimising the management of stormwater quality improvement devices to reduce pollution entering our waterways, and building new water-sensitive urban design infrastructure.
Sydney Water is working with a range of organisations to deliver livable outcomes for our city. We are planning projects that provide stormwater flooding and waterway health benefits. They also create pleasant natural areas, such as wetlands and rain gardens, for the community to enjoy. These features also reduce heat in urban areas and create landscaped spaces that need less water for irrigation. The Cup and Saucer Creek wetland was built as part of the Cooks River Naturalisation Project. For this project, we removed sections of deteriorated concrete riverbanks and replaced them with more naturally sloped edges, stabilised with sandstone and native plants. This area is now a freshwater habitat for local wildlife and has improved recreational spaces for local residents to enjoy.
Sydney is growing rapidly. We work with councils, developers and the wider community to support our urban growth. We ensure new developments not only meet our requirements, but the needs of our communities and the environment. Before lodging a development application with council, we encourage developers to talk to us about their plans. This is because flooding and stormwater quality issues are best addressed in the planning stage, and we can help with this process.
Our customers are at the heart of everything we do. We work with communities, our councils and stakeholders to protect the health of our waterways and minimise flood risk. Managing stormwater and the health of local waterways is a responsibility we all share. Be safe when it rains, keep away from flooded areas and make sure rubbish goes in the bin. So help us keep Sydney a beautiful place for generations to come.